tzaddikim. Even in the desert, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to show us that He loves us so much. He made all types of miracles for us. But now a person can look at the Torah and say, okay, fine, we see that Hashem loved Am Yisrael, but maybe He only loved Am Yisrael at the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. I mean, who wouldn't love Moshe Rabbeinu? He was such a big tzaddik. Who wouldn't love Am Yisrael as bringing korbanot to HaKadosh Baruch Hu every day? But how do I know? How do I know that Hashem still loves us? Even though it says in the Torah, some people say, how do I know? Now, the Torah tells us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us so much that the entire world that we have was created for the sake of Am Yisrael. Everything in the world was created for the sake of Am Yisrael. Even the Goyim were created for the sake of Am Yisrael. Even though they have their own mission, they have to do certain things, they have to serve HaShem, but even they were created for the sake of Am Yisrael. Now, sometimes Hashem uses the Goyim to rebuke Am Yisrael, to get to do tshuva, and He makes the Goyim hate us. Sometimes He makes the Goyim help us. Sometimes He makes the Goyim do things that they wouldn't normally do, and nobody would normally do, if it wasn't for the sake of Am Yisrael. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin says there was a king, a Goy king. A Goy king. Now, usually, do the Jewish people have a good relationship with the kings, the Goyim? Not so much. Many times the Goyim kings hate the Jews, or they cause problems for the Jews. But this king, not Jewish king, his name was Munbaz, King Munbaz. And the Chachamim say, Zichrono Livracha, Munbaz. He's mentioned in the Gemara, and the Chachamim say, King Munbaz, Zichrono Livracha. Like he was a tzaddik. How could you do such a thing? Who is this king? They say, oh, Munbaz. You know Munbaz. We'll tell you about Munbaz, the Chachamim say. Munbaz was a good guy. Why? He was very, very rich. His father was a king. His grandfather was a king from generation to generation. And they all gathered a lot of wealth. They had rooms full of money and gold and all types of things. But when King Munbaz realized that Am Yisrael is the chosen people, that Hashem loves them, he opened up his treasures, and he says to Am Yisrael, go, give the money. Give money to the Jewish people. What? Why? Go, these are the servants of Hashem. Go give the money. Feed the poor people in Eretz Yisrael. Feed them. So they did it once, and then he said, King Munbaz said, no, do it again, keep giving the money. And he kept doing it throughout his life. So some of the family members and the officers of the kinghood came to King Munbaz, hey, your highlights, what are you doing? You're wasting all of your family's wealth away and giving it to these Jewish people. Why are you wasting it like that? Munbaz is very smart. He says, you say I waste it? My ancestors, he says, my grandparents, my parents, they all gathered money and wealth, and all after they died, all of what they had stayed here. Stay here. But me, I'm taking the money, and I'm making sure that this money stays with me forever. And that's why I give it to Am Yisrael to help their poor people, to feed them. Because when I give it to them, that money gives me merits for eternity. So Munbaz, the Chachamim say, Zichrono Livracha. His mother was also a tzaddiket. They say Munbaz's mother, Zichrono Livracha. What did she do? She heard about the Bet HaMikdash, all of the things that Am Yisrael does. She says, listen, this is a special place, a house of God. It's special things. Take my treasures, take all of it, and go and buy a huge chandelier. Beautiful chandelier so they can have somewhere to decorate the house of God. So they say, Munbaz's mother, Zichrono Livracha. And that's what they did. They put it. So they would think, well, there was a couple of Goyim that did something good for Am Yisrael. But you don't understand, maybe. The Rambam says, everything that's happening in the world is as a result of Hashem's love for Am Yisrael. Sometimes the things that are happening in the world are to warn Am Yisrael so they don't get in trouble. Sometimes it's to benefit Am Yisrael and give them reward. Different things. The Rambam says so much so that there was once a Arab sheikh that had a lot of money. He had all types of treasures. And he decided one day, you know what? I want to expand. Okay, Your Highness, what do you want to do? And he says, I want to build a tower. A big tower. Okay, Your Highness, we built it next to the palace. You no, not next to the palace. I want to build it in the middle of the desert. Oh, Your Highness, nobody's there. Most people are going to go there then. Okay, how much should we spend on this tower? He said, spend half of all of my money. Your Highness, do you want to spend half of all the gold, half of all the diamonds, half of all the silver, half of it on this tower? Yes. Where nobody lives? Yes. Are we going to go there? No. Go do it now. He goes, okay, Your Highness. And they go and they take all of the different servants of this sheikh and they start building this building. Where? Where's the building?
In the desert.
Where in the desert?
In the
Middle of the desert. There's people there. Nobody's there. And they build and they build and they build and they build and they build. And one day, they tell the sheikh, oh, Your Highness, the tower is finished. It's the tallest tower in the world. It's big, it's huge. You want to go visit it? No, not really. Don't you want to see it? The tower, people want to enjoy it. Do you stay there? No, there's nobody there, he says. What am I going to do there? Oh. He said, people want to go there. Send people there. But what happened is, few people ever went there. It didn't become anything successful in business in any way. And people started making fun and started saying, what is he doing? Why did he spend half of all of his money to build this huge building in the middle of the desert where there's nobody there? People said, maybe this sheikh is crazy. He spent all of his money on his building. Why? Nobody understood. And it went on, and then he died, and those people died, and new people replaced them. But the tower stayed there for years. One day, Rabotai, at tzaddikim, one day there was a tzaddik. There was a Jewish tzaddik that had to travel in the desert, and it was very, very hot. It was very, very difficult to travel in the desert. It's very dangerous. And he was traveling, and it got to a point where he needed some rest, but you can't just rest in the middle of the desert. You have to find somewhere where there's shade. You have to find somewhere where there's less danger. And all of a sudden they see from far away there's a big tower. It's okay, we'll get to that tower. There must be people there. We'll get there, and we're going to rest. And they went over there. Eventually they got there and they see there's nobody there. So, okay, you know what? Here there's shade with such a big tower of covers. We'll rest over here, and then we'll go. And that's what they did. They rested over there, under the shade of the tower. They saw on the wall when this tower was built. Said this tower was built 400 years ago. All time ago. The king that built it, he already died. The people that built it, they already died. Everything already changed. But the tower is still here. Okay. We'll use it for shade. Now, my little tzaddikim, the Jewish tzaddik, rested, used the tower for shade, and he left. There the Rambam says, why did HaShem give this sultan, this sheikh, so much money to build a tower? Why did he give the money? To build a tower.
Because
No. Yes?
is it still there?
Is the tower still there? I don't know. Maybe. There's other towers still in the middle of the desert. There's other towers. I tell you, why did Hashem give him the money to build a tower? But there was nobody there. And nobody ever went there. Nobody ever lived there. So why have this tower? Why would Hashem take all of this money and give it to this boy so he can build a tower? For what? So he can come use it, so he doesn't have to starve to death. So he can use it for shade and everything. Exactly right. Look to the king.